Tony Dungy, friend of the show, like to have him on every now and then. He was on NBC Sports, their Lunch Talk Live, and he talked about, you remember he coached down in Tampa, and he's a Hall of Fame coach, and he talked about how excited the folks in Tampa are and how high their expectations are now that they got Tom Brady.
They are so excited, and all they're hoping is that we get this season rolling and get to play, because there is so much energy and excitement here. Tom Brady has been in the playoffs every year that he's been healthy. The feeling is we're going. It's just, who are we going to play against in the Super Bowl?
Well, that's the great Tony Dungy, and
when he said
very
we,
knowledgeable,
was you talking about
very
what the fans were saying?
That's a good question, because obviously I think on one hand,
all right,
he certainly
I just want
was
to make
talking
sure.
about the fans.
Okay.
No, he may have been, I don't know.
Because he coached down there.
Well,
and
for context, he said that his kids are Bucs fans because he was a Bucs coach. So that's
so you think
right.
he was saying
he was talking about
he's
the
pulling for
fans.
No,
the
he
Bucs.
was in the full context of the conversation. He's saying my kids are big fans, and they're all saying, "Hey, when are we going to be in the Super Bowl?"
Okay, so he wasn't talking about himself.
No.
Okay, but Rob, go ahead. I can guess what your opinion is on this, but let me throw out the question, and then you can have the first shot. Are the Buccaneers closer to being Super Bowl contenders or closer to missing the playoffs? Like, are they more likely to be a Super Bowl contender or they don't have a lottery, but, out of the playoffs?
They are going to miss the playoffs, and I feel very confident in saying that. I really do, because I'm going to pick New Orleans and Atlanta ahead of them, and I know there's an extra team in the playoffs. I'm still not convinced that whatever the Chargers on in the NFC. But I'm still not convinced. They haven't made the playoffs in 12 years. It's one thing to play in obscurity when it doesn't matter and nobody knows who you are and nobody's paying attention to you and you're an also-ran. It's another thing when you're coming and you're driving a Mercedes with the horn blowing and everybody knows you're supposed to be the big dog in town and you got new wheels and a new girlfriend with fake boobies. I'm just saying.
You calling Brady a Mercedes?
This is what I'm saying.
Wow.
This is what they feel like they have. And this is why they believe it. It was the same thing in Cleveland. They were all in. No, don't tell me to stop it, because everybody and their uncle, including all the TV executives, they couldn't wait to get the Browns on national television. Oh, my God, they're star-studded. Baker Mayfield. Oh, they got all these. OBJ. Oh, it's going to be star-studded. They went from 1,000,000 to get to the Super Bowl to 14-1. People were going gaga all over the Browns, and the same thing here. They'll wake up one day and they'll realize Tom Brady is 43. Nobody wanted him except for the Chargers to sell tickets, and they'll say, wow, I guess this will be our 13th year of not making the playoffs. They'll have a baker's dozen, and that is what's going to be the season for the Tampa Bay Bucs. And Tony Dungy and his kids, sorry, Charlie, you'll have to wait next year.
That was so weak. First of all, it was the most predictable answer in Fox Sports Radio history.
And you protected all the NBA players.
We knew that was coming. We knew that was coming. And secondly, you kill your argument by keep comparing the Buccaneers to the Browns. You can't compare Odell Beckham Jr. or acquiring Odell Beckham Jr. to acquiring Tom Brady. Tom Brady's been to 9 Super Bowls.
He's 43 years old come September, next season.
He's 2 years removed from people like you and people of your ilk saying he was old and still winning a Super Bowl. So, Rob
and he
Parker,
was lousy
you are
in
so
that Super
off.
Bowl.
You are so off. They won. I don't care. Because when he was great the year before, you didn't give him credit because the defense gave up 41 points. So you can't have it both ways.
Chris, he gave up the football with 2.5 minutes to go. Do you remember
he threw for 505
Do you remember that?
yards.
He blew the game.
I never said he was perfect, but he had a great game. That's undeniable. And Belichick's defense couldn't hold up. They couldn't stop a second-string quarterback. That's what it boiled down to. So don't put that on Brady if you're going to keep taking it away from him when he wins and doesn't have an outstanding game. But anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Rob, let's get away from the narrative. Let's get away from the history, because none of that matters. What matters is the talent on the football field. What matters is the coach under the headset. What matters is the play caller under center. And I tell you, they got some talent in those areas. They got receivers, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Both of them light years ahead of anything Brady had to throw to last year. And for those of your ilk who think he can't throw the long ball, he was tied for first last year in long ball efficiency.
Keep reading your
Even
stats.
though he didn't
it's
have
about the
anybody.
eye test. Go ahead and read your.
Even
keep
though he
reading those
didn't
phony
have
stats.
anybody to throw to. And then they got 2 tight ends who are legit. O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. They got a defense that was ranked number 1 in the league against the rush. Now, they were bad against the pass, but they showed improvement over the last few weeks. And I tell you what, it's tough for a defense when your quarterback is throwing 2 interceptions a game. It's tough for a defense when your quarterback starts off the game with a pick 6. That's not going to happen with Tom Brady. One thing he is safe. And he's not going to have 30 interceptions. He's not going to have 20. He's not going to have 15. He'll probably be around 10 or 12. And that is going to bolster that defense. So I'm telling you right now, Rob Parker, you're going to owe a brother wings, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not one of these guys, prisoner of the moment. You get a new shiny toy, and all of a sudden, Billy's the best kid on the block. I'm not doing that.
All of a sudden?
I'm not doing that.
He's the GOAT. All of a sudden?
Yeah, especially with a quarterback who was awful in the playoffs. And I mean, awful in the Super Bowl a year ago.
Did they win? You can't be awful.
No, he was awful. He was
Did
awful.
they win?
Yeah,
what happened to short menu? I got to ask you this question.
No, I don't have time for all that. I don't have all that.
It's a short menu.
That works for my narrative. You just stole my narrative.
Yeah, right. I thought so.
I'm just telling you, Chris. Just like you went crazy over the Browns.
No. Because I'm not bringing up the Chargers. I'm not bringing up
What about the Cowboys? You thought the Cowboys were going to the Super Bowl.
A lot of people thought that. You thought the
y'all
Chargers.
were wrong.
I mean, do we really want to go over all of this?
Yeah, we can, because I had the Cowboys not making the playoffs.
I'm 2-0.
I don't want to hear about that. I killed you in the football season.
Don't
you come to me with about that. Your first year picking NFL games, you got lucky. I killed you. I killed you in football.
Broussard.
I've been covering the National Football League since 1987. How dare you think you know more football than me? You don't, Chris Broussard.
I know way more football in my left leg than you know in your whole body. That's a fact. I demolished you the first year in the regular season picks. And then I
demolished you last year. What are you talking about?
I crushed you both years in the playoffs.
No, you didn't,
I'm 2
Chris.
for 2 in the playoffs.
All you do is you pick the obvious teams.
I pick the winner.
All you do is pick the obvious teams.
I'm not
Anybody
here to
can
create
do
a
that.
narrative. I'm not here to have a shtick.
It ain't
I'm
about
not
a
here to
shtick.
create some alter ego personality. I'm here to tell the truth.
Like when I picked the Washington Nationals, right? That was a shtick. I picked it. Like when I picked the Toronto Raptors. Was that a shtick? No. I'm the one who's willing to take to look at it deeper and take a stand. That's what I'm talking about. You pick all favorites. All you do is pick favorites.
Is Tampa Bay a favorite?
All you do is pick favorites.
Is Tampa Bay a favorite?
Yes, because everybody in the country thinks they're going to the Super Bowl. Just like last year, you picked the Browns. They were the favorite. Yes.
How were they a favorite? They weren't
because
favorites.
Everybody loved the Browns.
They come off a 7-9 season.
On paper, everybody was crazy about the Browns. You don't even know what a
favorite is, obviously.
Yes, they were a favorite last 14-1.
I pick who I think is going to win.
No, you
period.
don't. All your picks are
period.
just
How you gonna get in my? Now you're a mind reader.
I am.
Now you a mind reader?
Yes, I am.
Well, mind read some good jokes for your stand-up. How about that? Come on. I pick who I think is going to win, period. And if it so happens to be a team other people like, so be it.
Rob G,
All I
ask
know
you a
is I
question?
picked the last 2 Super Bowl champions, and you didn't.
Rob
So
G,
go
are you
out on
there?
the limb and pick Carolina this year just to have a shtick.
What's up, Rob?
Who goes out on a limb much more?
What
with
does
the
that
pick?
mean? I'm
asking
picking
you.
who's winning. The
Who
name of
picked-
the game ain't to
Rob
go out
G.
on a limb.
Who in this country picked
Fine,
the
you go out
picked
on
the
a
Washington
limb.
Nationals and picked the Toronto Raptors to win? Who?
That would be Rob Parker.
That's it. Nobody
You
else in
own
this
the
country.
Raptors only won because injuries hit Golden
Whatever.
State like
They
a
won.
hurricane.
They won.
So stop it. I mean, the name of the game, we playing a different game. Because I don't do anything to be a shtick. To say, I go out on the limb. I want to be right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't do it just for a shtick. All right, let's see what you guys think. I say the Buccaneers with Tom Brady make the postseason. Rob says they don't. What say you, 877-99 on Fox? Let's get to it, Rob.
Did you pick the Lakers too last year? Oh, never mind. Dan in South Carolina,
I ain't
you're on
picked
the
the
odd
Chargers
couple.
who won 5
Fox
games to make
Sports
the Super
Radio.
Bowl.
No, you picked the Lakers who didn't even make the playoffs with LeBron James.
LeBron got hurt. Stop
Yeah, okay.
it. That ain't
Dan,
even fair.
Dan, you're on the odd couple. Fox Sports Radio.
Bucs aren't making the playoffs.
Who's that?
I mean, there's too many good teams in the NFC ahead of them, and we don't know what Brady's like without Belichick.
Thank you. So you're saying
Really?
the Bucs won't make it?
Brady
They
turned. What
they
was
won't make
Belichick before Brady got there?
Chris, you're
Nothing.
in old news. Stop
I'm
it.
saying,
Come
what
on.
was he?
That's old news.
He had Drew Bledsoe and they won
He
5
won
games.
2 championships with the Giants as a defensive coordinator.
That means nothing. Give me a head coach. A lot of guys are good defensive
means
coordinators,
nothing?
offensive coordinators.
Do
Be
you
the
remember-
head coach.
Do you remember
And
when
I'm
the
not
Bears
saying
in
Belichick's not a
1985?
good head coach. I'm just saying we have the record of Belichick without
Chris.
Brady, and it ain't pretty.
Do you remember when the Bears won the Super Bowl in 85? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And the players at the end of the game, they carried
Hey,
off
what the-
Buddy
Rob,
Ryan,
you're
who
bringing
was the
up
defensive
irrelevant
coordinator.
stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to tell you it
I'm
doesn't matter.
saying,
Bill
don't
Belichick
give
was
me
a great
this
coach.
mess about somebody winning a championship as a defensive or offensive coordinator. That's fine. We're not talking about that.
All
We're
I know
talking
is he
about
has
head
8 Super
coach.
Bowl rings. 8.
We're
All
talking
right.
about head coach.
Even if he's a cheater. Joseph
Stop
in
it.
Virginia. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Good evening, fellas. Rob, you have to stop comparing Bruce Arians to that debacle in Cleveland.
Thank
He
you.
is nothing like what they had going on. Everywhere
many
he's
good-
been, he's won.
Who? Bruce Arians made the playoffs 2 out of 7 years or whatever it is?
Well, when Belichick did that,
I'm
you
asking
defended
you.
him.
Bruce Arians is what? What? The
Bruce
Bucs-
Arians
the
offensive
Bucs haven't
coordinator.
won. The
Turned
Bucs haven't
around
been in the
every
playoffs.
organization he's
Where?
been
They
Every
haven't made the playoffs in
organization he's
12
been at.
years.
Did he go to the playoffs in Indianapolis? Yes. Did he go to the playoffs in Arizona? Yes. He's went to the playoffs everywhere besides Tampa Bay, and
He's
that's
such-
going to change this year.
Okay, he was
They
so
finished
good.
top 5.
How many Super
They
Bowls
finished-
did he win?
Wow, come on.
Okay.
Everybody, how rare is
I
it? How
believe
many
he's got one as an
Super Bowls-
offensive coordinator, Rob Parker.
That doesn't
How's that?
count. You don't even- you believe?
See, look,
Are
you
you
see?
sure?
See,
Are you
yeah, I'm
sure?
sure.
Listen,
I'm
that
pretty
defense
sure.
is top 5 in turnovers. They're top 5 overall, and they're the best rushing defense. Jameis
That's-
had 33 picks.
That's when they were
8.
playing and they were the Bucs and nobody paid attention to them. It'll all change this year.
He's got
you
a
must be
Super
kidding
Bowl.
yourself.
He's
you
got
must
a
be
Super
kidding
Bowl
yourself.
as an
If you
offensive
think people are going to
coordinator,
play the
Rob
Bucs,
Parker.
you think people are going to play the Bucs the way they played them the last 12 years? Come on, man. You got to know better than that.
That's
you think
one
the
ring.
same thing that happened?
He's a
last year they
winner.
took them for granted.
He's a winner.
Bruce,
He's got
in
a ring.
Kansas. Very nice. You happy? Bruce in
Yeah,
Kansas.
now
You're
you
on the
gonna
Odd
admit it.
Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
What's,
up,
Bruce?
Bruce? You're a little taken
Hey.
back.
Rob, I'm with you, man.
Tell him, Bruce.
I know that's hard to admit. Give me some
You know,
facts.
there's
Or
no
you just
Warren
going to yell
Sapp
and
on that
scream
Tampa
like
team
him?
this year.
Thank
Warren
you.
Sapp. Come on,
That's
man.
when they won the Super Bowl. Remember
I'm
that?
not saying they're going to win the Super. They're not going to make the playoffs, Bruce.
The playoffs.
They
Brady's
will or
too
won't?
old. He's done, man.
Well, look.
He wouldn't have
Brady
won, he
is
wouldn't have went to
done.
the playoffs if he was in New England.
Yep.
They were 12-4 last year. That doesn't sound too old to me.
Hey, Bruce, it was the worst 8-0 team in the history of the NFL.
So what? They were
terrible.
12-4.
And they got shellacked at home. They lost the last game that would have given them a playoff.
They actually played Tennessee closer than Baltimore.
That would have given them a bye, and they choked down the game at home.
Fine. They weren't a Super Bowl champion. Fine. They were 12-4, though.
Charlie in Washington, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Charlie?
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me back again. I love the show.
Thank you.
I got to go Super Bowl, and my main reason is because I've lost my life savings betting against Tom Brady, and I'm done with that, and I don't want to hear any of this. He's past his years, Chris. He's old. He's past his prime. No, I don't care if we grab this guy out of the geriatric unit and he's throwing balls from a mobility scooter. I am not betting against Tom Brady ever again.
Charlie,
Man,
can we bet wings? Can we bet wings,
call.
Charlie?
Yeah?
Can we bet wings on this?
Oh, hell yes.
All right. Remember this,
I'm not
Charlie.
even. So, Charlie, you saying they're going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, that's what he just
said.
said.
I'm not even saying that.
No,
but
I'm Charlie.
Like
We're betting wings.
You got it. You got it.
Here's what I like about Charlie. He learns from his mistakes. I sit across from a guy every day who doesn't learn from his mistakes.
They're so far.
You've been betting against Tom
Parker.
Brady for 8 years, Rob.
Hey,
3
Alex.
Super Bowls later, you're
up, Rob?
still betting against him.
Alex is the official Rob Parker chicken wing
Man,
bet
no,
winner.
That's past
Alex,
history, baby.
Alex,
What's poppin', Rob?
when it comes to
Lose,
chicken
baby.
wings, who is the king?
Well, you know how there's the saying that death and taxes are always for sure in life? Well, it's death, taxes, and losing to Rob Parker in wing bets. That's for
No
sure.
doubt about it.
We'll see. Because you and I got a bet, and it's not the Super Bowl. It's Tampa Bay making the playoffs.
No
and
doubt.
I will eat lemon pepper wings in your face. And enjoy
Cowboy.
it.
Cowboy
And I'll
in
like
Windsor.
it.
We'll see about that. I'll be eating garlic Parmesan wings in your face. Cowboy in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, across from Detroit. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Oh, hi, Chris and Rob. Well, first of all, Rob, you probably know that Tony Dungy's my cousin, as is, of course, Ferguson Jenkins and Reuben Mays. And, Chris, for you, I know this is Worship Wednesday, but I worship Big Boob Babes every day.
Dang.
And third of all, I think that I think the Buccaneers are going 11-5.
Your cousin Tony didn't like that comment. You know that.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite. I'm a little different than Tony. Let's put it that way.
Right. Hey,
and they're going 11-5. I think the Buccaneers, because I think Brady will probably throw 30 touchdown passes with maybe 7 or 8 interceptions, not 30 and 30 as it happened last year. And Arians is, of course, an offensive guru. Plus, I think they'll probably draft a couple of defensive players in the first 2 or 3 rounds, and if they do that, I think they'll be 11-5. Now, I don't think they'll go that far in the playoffs because Brady will show that he's 43 during the playoffs. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to go 10-6 or 11-5, make the playoffs. And thanks for putting me on, boys.
Nice
right,
call.
Cowboy.
Nice call.
Yeah,
he
he
really
used to call
came
my
on
old show in
strong. He
Detroit.
started badly, but he came on strong.
No, he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he was good.
Rob
He
G,
was
are
good.
Rob G, is
All
that
right,
it? Or we got-
so
wait a minute, we got more calls, Chris. John in Maine, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
How you guys? I
What's
just want to say my answer to your question. I think Tampa Bay will absolutely be closer to the Super Bowl, let alone making the playoffs. They'll be close. They had a good offense. Now I remember we had a good offense. We went to the Super Bowl with Bledsoe in '96. And
yeah, with
we were
Parcells.
always called the high-powered offense on the commercials. It would say, "Watch the New England Patriots take on the Pittsburgh with the Patriots' high-powered offense," and then we'd lose a playoff game 7-6. Then Brady came in, and he did what he does, and it's a lot of field position because he's not turning it away, but you could see him move the ball. I heard him compared to like the Michael Jordan of the NFL, and I said, no, he's the Larry Bird. Incredible athletic instincts, but without the athletic ability. But he's got those instincts. He move in the pocket just the tiniest bit, and someone would miss. It would be the extra second. So I think Tampa Bay's going to be a really good team, right up there late in the playoffs. As for the Patriots,
all right, we're not buying.
Nice
we're
call.
not buying that.
Nice
Thanks,
call.
John.
John, he was a nice call. He went back into Patriots history, didn't he?
Yeah, no,
Bledsoe
he remembered
and Parcells,
Bledsoe, right?
yeah.
I remember that Super Bowl.
Yeah.